We are just hours away from a major split screen in this year's presidential election. At 2:30 p.m. Eastern, although he'll be in the Pacific time zone today, former President Donald Trump will be at the southern border in Cochise County, Arizona. And Trump is set to highlight his plan to end the immigration crisis, Biden and Harris's border crisis. And he's going to call out the failures of the Vice President Kamala Harris, no doubt. And the event just hours before the biggest moment of Kamala Harris's political career. She's still getting ready to officially accept the Democratic nomination for the president, and stage right behind me, that's where that will happen. I don't know if you can see that. They just finished the national anthem again, so we've got a big flag behind me right now. And it's been absolutely beautiful to listen to that. This is Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner, live at the Democratic National Convention, joined by my co-hosts, Kayleigh McEnany, also here in Chicago with me and our team, and Emily Campagno, live from our couch in New York City. We miss you, Em. Also joining us, Fox News contributor and former State Department spokesperson under President Obama, Marie Harf, and former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Ooh, this is going to be spicy. Thanks, everybody. Immigration is one of those issues likely to define this presidential election. And the latest Fox News power rankings show former President Trump holding a 13-point lead on immigration. Meanwhile, a string of recent polls all show Trump with a commanding lead on the issue. Look at that. She doesn't come close anywhere. And the former president has called out Kamala Harris earlier today when he was on Fox and Friends. Let's watch.
She's allowed millions of people to come into our country, many of these people totally unchecked, totally unvetted. Many of these people came into our country, think of this, from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. And, Brian, there's many terrorists coming in. If they want to fix the border, they don't need a bill. The President of the United States, which is what I did. I didn't have a bill to close the border. I closed the border. I had the safest border. I had the least drugs coming into our country in 38 years. I had the least, you have the human traffickers are horrible, and they traffic in children and they traffic in women, mostly women. But I had the lowest number of, we went after them with a vengeance.
Emily, it's been said that, you know, Kamala Harris will prosecute border states. I mean, that's what her past includes. And you've told me many times, California has a wall. They got that big fence line, so it might be easier to prosecute there, but that's not what she did anyway. And she's not doing it now.
No, she campaigned for then-president the last time on fixing the immigration crisis, right? And then she became the border czar, which since then has been denied. But we watched as she utterly failed in terms of any type of bridging, any type of relationships with the central and southern governments, even though it was touted to us that her experience would lend her able to do so. Now, the credibility has been extinguished, in my opinion, because as a Californian, I resided under her DA watch, under her senator watch, and under her AG watch, and nothing got accomplished. Well, cut to today, where under the Harris-Biden administration, we have millions of illegal immigrants throughout the country, spikes in crime, the complete and utter erosion of the safety and protection of those people that are streaming across our border. So for someone that said that they are seeking amnesty for all, compassion, care, and the humane treatment of all, that has been sorely missed as a mark under her watch. And now there's an utter denial of the crisis, the utter crisis that has plagued the states along the border and all 50 that have unfortunately suffered because of those policies and the drugs streaming across. So the notion now that all of the blame lies with a prior administration, the notion that now we should trust her to actually take up the helm and support the Border Patrol, support the states that have sued her administration for failing to protect them, it's utter hypocrisy, and it's not going to fly.
Well, that's how you prosecute a case. Boom. She should know. Former federal attorney. Marie Harf, you know, it's interesting because that subject hasn't come up in any substantive way at 3 days, and now we're into our 4th day of the DNC convention. Yet it's in a top 3, rocking that way for more than a year among Americans polled across the country. Why not?
Well, I expect we'll hear a little bit more about it this evening. At least I hope we will.
How about a lot
and if
more?
we just look at sheer numbers, well, there's a lot of issues to cover, and hopefully her speech is, 30 to 40 minutes. But On the actual numbers, border crossings are at their lowest point since Donald Trump was president. A lot of people have argued, with me on this show and elsewhere, that it was too little too late and they waited too long to close the border. But the reality is they have now. And she has worked with those countries in Central and South America to try and address the root causes. And Democrats supported a bill that would have been the toughest immigration bill. That would have been the toughest immigration bill in decades that Donald Trump killed for political reasons.
They can still bring in 2,500 every day. That is not true.
Well, look, the numbers are the lowest they've been since Donald Trump was president. That is true. That's a fact. So if Donald Trump's going to go to the border and talk really tough and say a lot of things that are offensive and not true and not compassionate in any way for the situation, where they're actually taking steps to fix it. But the last thing I'll say is I do think it's a crisis, and I think a lot of Democrats think it's a crisis. And I think my party has to make a case for why we will continue to crack down on illegal immigration, because voters do care about, as we know.
We have a former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, with us today, who also can prosecute a case. Kevin.
Well, what's shocking to me is right after they were sworn into office, a few months later, we watched the border explode because of their policies. The first thing they did on the day they were sworn in is stop finishing the wall. They literally took that equipment and hid it away. The other thing, when I went and toured the border in 2021, right after that, talking to the border agents, there's two things that picked up. When I interviewed the people who were coming over, they said they came over because Biden-Harris invited them to. Secondly, the border agents told us what they really found was terrorists on the watch list were coming over. I put this out in a press conference, and Ruben Gallegos, a congressman from Arizona, a border state, now the Democrat nominee for Senate in that state, challenged me and said I was lying. And what did we find out? Not only was I telling the truth, he never apologized, but we found just in the month of February that they caught more people on the terrorist watch list. And think how difficult it is to get on that list than we caught the entire 4 years under the Trump administration. So maybe they changed their behavior because they're running for office, but they already did so much damage to our country that if you go to the state of Massachusetts, their number one issue, where their Democratic governor actually has a state of emergency because of the southern border. In the city of New York, the number one issue is the border. And what you're finding throughout this entire nation, if there's less money in your city and you're far from the border because they're housing people that was flown into your city unbeknownst to you the night before, and you no longer have enough money for police or the parks or for the schools, this is because Kamala Harris was the czar of the border and failed in her job.
A recent Fox News poll is asking what best describes the situation in the U.S. southern borders. Emergency, they call it, 44%. A major problem, 43%. A minor problem, 11%. And I want to drill down just a little bit, Kayleigh, before I go to you. In February of 2019, the emergency category was 27%. And in February of 2024, it was 41%, and now it's 44%. Kayleigh.
So Maurice says the official numbers have lessened. That is true. But here's what the official numbers do not include. Parolees, those leased into the interior of the United States, 1.9 million known gotaways. Our own Bill Maloogian, who's actually at the border often, has talked about ICE being overwhelmed. So the official number doesn't tell the whole story. But let me say one thing. I was coming here and I was looking at a liberal network and I was reading what they had at the lower part of their screen. And it said star-studded convention. And that's true. Oprah stood behind me. Little John came out and surprised everyone. There are reports that Katy Perry will be here tonight. We just heard the Dixie Chicks sing. I guess they're called the Chicks now. There's been a lot of stars. But there's some names that haven't been mentioned. Laken Riley, a college girl who went for a run and lost her life. Rachel Morin, a mother of 5 who went for a run and lost her life. Jocelyn Ngari, a 12-year-old girl who went to the convenience store and lost her life. All by illegal immigrants, all preventable, all a result of the perilous, dangerous, and irresponsible Harris-Biden border policies. You don't need legislation. You need a pen, and you need the will. And Harris could not find it in herself for 3.5 years to go to Biden and say, pick up your pen, whip out 212F, sign this into law because another girl should not lose their life. It is inexcusable. It is disqualifying for the role of President of the United States.
Well, and she's being peddled as, pick her because she's a woman in some categories. Yes, because of her skin color and others, or her biracial makeup. But this idea of just being a human being that needs to be doing the right thing, that's what really needs to be hit at this point, because it's definitely hurting our country.
Yep.
The problem at the border. Vice President Kamala Harris does not have a policy page on her campaign website. This is laughable, though, because when you go there are 3 pages deep. Every time you click continue, it's donate. Trump has created a campaign page with policies for Kamala Harris.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.